Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you live. And here we are, Aurorum, Kingmaker in the Pathfinder system. I think everybody's excited to see what happened after last session. So, I mean, I don't really want to waste time with what happened last week. I don't even want to waste time with pleasantries because things might not go well. So why don't we just start with why don't you just click your token in the top right hand corner and roll for initiative?
Can I click my token?
I believe so. I hope so.
I can't even click my token.
Why not?
Which one's my token? I assumed the one doing spells was my token.
Let me go
Yeah,
back
we
over.
can't interact with any of them, Scott.
What?
Sorry,
No.
dude, you broke it.
No. So without further ado, let's jump right into you made a mistake, Scott.
My
I'm like, why can't I click them either? Map overlay.
I was just like, ooh, token. Oh.
There you go. Fix you real quick. This is supposed to be. Oh, it unlinked who they were. So this one.
To say, yeah, you can move them. I can't.
So this one is supposed to be, I believe, 1. So that's you, buddy. Let's throw this into HP. There you are. Just to at least get one of your things being tracked.
Oh.
All right, this one is supposed to be.
You said that one was meant to be 1, then you gave me control of it, and it's also a wizard.
Yeah, I've also got control of the wizard.
You guys all have control over everybody. You can all see each other's character sheets,
Okay.
etc., etc.
Okay.
Val. 10 HP. Yep. Oh. Hold on.
That means that's Baron. Okay.
1. There we go. Okay, and then this one right here.
Single stream
No,
over.
wait. No, which one's meant to be me? Because I don't have control over any more than I did before you said.
Hold on one second. Val. This one's HP. Where are you? HP.
Hey, I can see that one now. Good.
And this one's supposed to be Neil, which is Rayrin. HP.
To be fair, this is good exercise for Scott because he's like reminding himself of everyone's names, so he might be able to remember like one of the names.
Unlikely. And let's see. That should be everyone.
Wait, I'm the half orc now.
But
Yeah, I'm confused.
you guys realize you
got the
have
hell
access. You guys have
No,
access to
I'm
everybody's
only kidding.
characters.
I'm
Okay.
only kidding.
So you have access to all 3, so you should be able to manipulate all 3, even if you're only using the 1. So I was like, what are you talking about? What are you doing? Why are you confusing me? Click your token and press initiative.
I may have already done that. Let's also change that. Oof. Well, I guess we really are just sitting there watching while.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
What's he gonna do?
You know the worst
Dunno.
part? I gave you the last dagger I had, and you broke it. I don't have anything but spells.
Well, I mean, I can drop a dagger for you, but that might not end well.
Yeah, no, it might not.
Well, let's see how things play out. So just to recap exactly where we left off last session, as I had you guys roll for initiative and assign minis. You guys had arrived at the new keep. You were on the roof of the new keep. It was very old, weather-beaten, etc., etc. There were some vines growing up over a hole that was broken from the ceiling to the floor below, which is going to be the second floor of the keep. Over in that area where the vines are, you decided to anchor and drop a rope down, do a little bit of exploring before the sun completely set. And then as you were climbing down that rope, Valorant, all of a sudden, you were called to by one. Hey, use the vines to alleviate some of the pressure from the rope so it doesn't and I had said...
It wasn't me.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't you.
So I had said to you, as you're climbing down the rope, usually it's a DC 10 athletics check or acrobatics check, whatever it is, climb check to get down there. I was like, but you don't have to worry about making that check because as you're climbing down the rope, you're holding onto the vines almost as well as they're holding onto you. They start to writhe and wrap themselves around you rapidly, much to the horror of One and Rayrin above. Roll for initiative. We have that displayed. And now why don't we jump right in. Valorant, you actually get to go first. Okay.
Okay, so firstly, that potion belt allowed me to use a potion that I had specified was on my belt as a swift action, right?
Which potion are you referring to? Because you don't have the special potion belt that allows you to do that stuff as swift actions. That's an arm belt. Yeah, that holds only like 2 or 3. Yeah.
That's right. That's what I got confused with. Fuck. Okay. You know what? Still, I'm gonna do this because it's probably a good idea. I'm going to chug the potion of mage armor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually gonna do a thing. I did this last time as well. I only just realized I had the potion of mage armor again. So I'm gonna just drop it onto my spell list, cast it.
Okay, so a grappled character who attempts to use a spell must make a concentration check to be able to successfully cast the spell.
Even if it's a potion?
Oh, my apologies. I thought you were casting the spell. Go
I
ahead.
figured it was going to be hard to do. That's why I...
No, you're fine. Drink the potion.
Although, yeah, it won't actually let me put it onto thing. But I've got the buff, so I'll just ping Mage Armor.
Mage Armor, which gives you the +4 AC, which is a good thing. Beautiful.
Yeah, and then... Oh god, I just realized I can't look at my buffs for some reason. It won't click.
I do not know. I'm going to look at your character sheet real quick. See if Roll20 is having an issue.
I'm going to reopen my...
I see it open, but it won't let me close it. If that's what you were saying.
I can't open it still. I'm going to refresh.
That's funny. For me, it's open, but won't close.
Yeah, mine just won't open.
Okay, so that's what you do. You quaff the potion, gives you mage armor, +40 your AC. Beautiful. What else do you do with your turn?
Can I try and get out?
To get out requires an attack roll of sorts, and you use your standard action to drink the potion.
Yeah, I figured as much, but considering I'm currently fatigued... Hey, I can actually do mage armor now. There we go. I'm currently fatigued. I don't think I'm getting out anyway. So, you just you hear him... You guys up the top hear him yell, "Oh shit!" And then a muffled glug glug, and then, "Ah! Help!
Awesome.
The vines! The vines!"
So then on the so after you do that, and it's kind of like grabbing you and starting to like pull you in and pull at you. On its turn, it is going to first make an attack against you, which is pretty easy to do. Your AC is going to be lowered, being entangled and whatnot. So let me make that attack roll against you, sir. Where are you? You're this guy. 1 attack. What was my damage again?
Yeah, I have a strength of 6 now at the moment, guys. I ain't getting out of this.
Ooh.
Okay, so the vine easily starts grabbing at you, pulling at you, clawing at you, and starts ripping and tearing and squeezing really hard. It does to you the total of, you ready for this? 7 points of damage.
Well, I'm going to start thinking of new character ideas while you guys do your turns.
At the same time that happens, all of a sudden the vines that are growing up on the side of the building from that area down below to kind of like from the wall down below, the crumpled area growing across and up to the ceiling above where it's just barely grappling. Most of the vines that were hanging and dangling below start to whip and writhe up onto the roof and start writhing and whipping over towards the feet of the other 2 characters. I need the 2 of them to please make me reflex saving throws.
Huh.
Oh.
Well, Rayron, you're coming with me.
So you are able to avoid the entanglement of the spell. So you are not entangled at all, and you can act normally, Jake. As for you, Neil, you are entangled. What entangled means, and you could probably press the condition in your character sheet. Move at half speed, cannot run or charge, take a -2 on attack rolls, -4 penalty to dexterity, and then there's penalties for casting spells. No, you're not entangled, you're grappled.
Tangled. Oh, entangled. There.
Correct.
Oh, I'll click the grappled status then.
After that is going to be Rayron's turn.
Oh no, my Dex!
Now-
My beautiful, beloved Dex!
Oh my god, my dex went down massively with that with the grappled status. I am fucked.
How far can I move while entangled?
Half speed. And now most of the area that's technically affected by the entangle takes up the space that Valorant is in, that huge gap that the vines are kind of stretched across, that open air, and also somewhat down below into the actual wall where the vines grew up from. So to answer your question, you can move at half speed, it's only 15 feet. If you were to move back 10 feet or to the side 20, you would be able to get out of the area of the entanglement. The thing is, if you move back 10 feet, you won't be able to see Val anymore because of the lip.
Yeah, because we're pretty much above looking down.
Correct.
Screw it then. Let's Raren reaches to his side, opens the book, starts chanting something, places a hand on the book, closes his hand, there's a small glow in it, closes the book, puts it away, puts his hand together, they begin to glow with a sort of orange light, and he's gonna point them down towards the vines and...
Burning hands! Oh, that is sexy!
Yay.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
with my overwhelming damage.
Yeah, 2 points of damage. That's fine. That's still clearly fire damage on a plant. So, what's that? Reflex saving throw. Okay. What's my reflex again? I saw it and then 2 seconds later forgot. There it is.
Oh, and I
did not meet the 14. So all of a sudden you see the fire start to burn and burn away a whole bunch of the vines that are up on the edge there. It's starting to burn down towards where Valorant is, so on and so forth. Now I imagine you did not intend to hit Valorant with this fire.
No.
Okay. Let me just think for a second, because you were burning down at the vines where you are, not down into the pit completely. I get what you're doing.
Down into the pit as well.
Yeah, but strategically placing it so you didn't hit him.
I'm not aiming at Valorant, but I know that there's a good cluster of vines down there, and the more I burn, the better.
Could you roll me an intelligence check, please?
Yep. I didn't aim me so good, sorry, dude.
Nope, you actually aimed very well. You didn't hit Valorant at all. You're able to strategically aim it so the majority of the flame burns the vines without any of it licking Valorant in a way that it physically causes harm, which is wonderful. All right, so just so you guys are aware, Valorant, even though you're down there and you're extremely beat up, you're in a lot of pain, etc., you start to feel, you close your eyes, kind of accepting fate, thinking of ways for you to survive, when all of a sudden you feel stronger. You feel emboldened. You can feel a blessing coming upon you. Roll me a 1d8 plus 5, sir.
1d
plus 5.
Okay. Let me just thank the person. Roll 1d8 plus 5. Ooh.
You have 9 temporary health points added to your character. You also, are going to, where is it? You're also going to get +1 to your attack rolls and saving throws against fear. Okay, beautiful. After your turn, Rayward, unless there's something else that you can do.
I was considering it, but not really, I think.
So
I could attempt to move.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it, really, isn't it?
Do you want to move out so you're no longer in the entangled condition and can plan things out better next turn?
Yeah, go on then.
All right. So you move back like 10 feet or so to break yourself free. And then do you just stay back there or do you start trying to make your way around the side to where you can see the lip outside of the vine's control?
I'm going to stay back there for now because I don't know what these vines might do.
All right. And 1. It is now your turn, sir.
I wonder whether there's a Pathfinder quick reference.
Depends on what you're looking for.
Quick reference.
There's got to be. I just don't know where one is.
Because there's a someone has made an extremely beautiful.
For 5e, it is sexy. Ollie sent that to me forever ago. It is so amazing.
It's so useful as well.
I'll actually just pop it into chat so people know what we're talking about, though this is referencing 5e, not the game we're playing.
If you play 5e, super useful.
Yeah. All right, so what are you doing, Jake?
How far down is Valorant?
He had climbed down, because before I had said the fall was, what, about a 20-foot gap down? So he had climbed down about 10 feet of that. So he's about 10 feet down from where you are.
Okay. Does he still have hold of the rope as well?
Well, he does have hold of the rope, for whatever it's worth.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. I just yell at Valorant, grab hold of the rope, and I'm going to try and pull against the thing and try and pull him out.
Okay.
You're trying to like more or less rip him out of the. Okay.
I mean, I probably would definitely still be holding onto the rope. If this thing started yanking me, I'd be like.
All right. So you grab hold of that rope and you're just gonna give a big old-fashioned heave. That's gonna be a strength check and hope for the best, sir.
Okay.
Can't cross my fingers well.
That's actually a really good check. Give me a second on that one.
Yeah.
Let me ask actually. Did you want to use any of your luck pool to enhance that in any way possible? Because you're trying to rip him out.
Would you like me to? Valorant?
I mean, we would also learn how much luck we have or don't have.
It's true.
So that's the other thing.
It's true.
Well, I think this one's on you, buddy.
Okay, yeah, do it. Just to make sure, because I don't want to die.
So I just click the roll luck button at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet.
The only problem is
so
Trevor
close.
all the time.
So
He's
what?
like getting covered in cat hair.
What happens is you grab this rope and you heave it as hard as you possibly can, and you're pulling and you're like leaning back on your heels and you're pulling and you are successfully able to start pulling him out and heaving and pulling and you get him all the way up to the point where his upper torso is literally on the roof above. His legs are still dangling below. He himself is still entangled. You know, pulled him from the grapple position. He himself is still entangled, but he's up there on the roof with vines around him, pulled him from the meat of what was actually holding him beforehand. But as you're pulling himself back and as you're heaving and doing everything you can, your foot gives way underneath you and you end up slipping and stumbling right before you finish pulling him in. You actually stumble to the edge yourself and also start like half rolling off of it. The two of you are now in this precarious position where both of you guys are half on the roof, half dangling, and vines are wrapping around both of you. Do me a favor, please, Jake. As you are re-entering an entanglement, could you roll me another reflex save?
Okay.
I won't give names, but check the VODs. And you both are equally entangled by the vines, as both of you are equally dangling on and off of the roof. And that is your turn, sir.
So I'm no longer grappled, but I am entangled.
Correct, sir. It is your turn too.
Which I believe has the same effect as grapple.
No. Grappled.
No, slightly.
Grappled, he can't cast spells or somatic components. Entangled, he can.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is slightly better. But I'd stand very little chance of being able to pull myself up. So what are my choices to try and get onto the roof and out of this entangle?
Well, since you're entangled, your movement is half speed. But either way, just to climb up would be a climb or acrobatics check or whatever it is.
What are they at the moment? Let's have a look, shall we? Ooh. Okay, so one is a -2 and one is a -1.
Okay. One of those is strength based, I'm pretty sure. But, you know, that doesn't help you at the moment, Mr. Fatigue.
No, I think acrobatics was the other one you said. Acrobatics is probably my best bet. I'm going to try and get myself out of this entangled.
Sure.
So just roll that.
Mm-hmm.
You tried.
I'm so glad we invited Ian to join the campaign. You know what I mean? It's nice playing with him after all these months.
Now you understand. I didn't need to. It was like I was already bad before I met Neil, and then it's just gotten so much worse so fast.
If it helps, I've been having a little stumble recently. I had
noticed.
a session and I rolled 3 ones, one of which was in an advantage roll.
Yes, you did the thing that I've done, where you did the double nat 1 for the advantage.
All right, so you fail. miserably.
Yeah.
You're
It
still
wasn't.
entangled.
It wasn't technically a 1. It was a 2.
What are you going to do with your action? You going to try to cast a spell?
Yeah, probably. That's
It's going to be a concentration check, just so you know. I'll teach you how to do that in a second.
okay. I'm actually gonna try and cast shield, so I have that extra buffer. So how does sorry, this is the one I'm casting. I would have laughed so much if that failed.
Yeah.
Failed.
It's funny because I was going to have you roll the other one first and then hope to see if this one fails. So my question is, so your question is, so for a concentration check on the spells sheet, which you probably are right now, top left-hand corner in that box which shows how many spells per day or whatever, there's going to be something that says concentration.
Yes.
You're going to click that boyo.
Oh, come on.
Unfortunately, you were not able to muster up the concentration required to cast the spell. As it's kind of like pulling and ripping at you, as it's like holding your leg, you're trying to like pull your leg free from it and pull your arm free while casting your spell. It's just too distracting to maintain your focus on your magics. You did expend the slot without enacting the spell. Yeah, Pathfinder's mean like that. After your very successful turn.
Well, I did nothing that turn, so good luck.
Rayron, it is your turn.
Look at this. You're so cute.
Oh.
Um,
Your character dies.
I have divine protection of cat. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Rarin is going to draw his short sword. The subtle blue glow extends the length and then fades. And he is going to attempt to make his way to the edge where one is.
I have a question. When a sword glows, is it ever subtle? Never mind. Just roll a reflex save.
It is a subtle blue glow because it's not bright. It's just like
Very subtle.
No, I'm trying to think of a reference. Vermintide. You know the outline when you mark something?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's not too bright, and then it fades.
Not subtle at all. I mean, it's completely subtle.
It's more subtle.
Roll your reflex save.
This little punk.
Hey! Neil's back! Welcome to the party, Neil.
God damn it.
All right, so you're easily able to cut and weave your way through the entangled area. The important thing to note is that even if you did succeed your save, let's see, so those that fail, to area cause creatures that make their saving throw. Just so you know, you made your save, but you still technically have to make a save every additional round that you stay inside the area. Okay? You move up to where one is without even the slightest concern, jumping over the little bits of rope and ducking under them as they try to grapple at you.
Not rope, vines. And Rarin is going to swing with the short sword to cut him free of the vines that are grasping at him.
Okay, so you're going to more or less try to make a grapple attempt to get him free is more or less how this works.
He's teetering right on the edge, isn't he?
Correct. Are you trying to break him free, or are you trying to hurt the vine's health?
I'm going to hurt the vine's health by cutting any vines that are attached to him off.
Gotcha. Make your attack roll, sir. Reminder to everybody in chat, if I cuss, the last person that says anything gets 100 daddies. Practicing.
At least it's not a 1. And because he's been hurt by friendlies enough.
I'm going to be playing a Darkest Dungeon soon to really test test your mettle. Unfortunately, your luck went away as you go rushing over there and go attacking with your sword. And
that's actually a -1 on that as well. So
yeah.
That's actually a 6. Oh well.
Why are you have -1? You're no longer entangled.
I'm gonna use.
And you're not fatigued either.
No, I'm gonna use spell combat. Or rather, I am using spell combat this turn. So
Gotcha.
as a forward action, I can make all of my attacks. It's a -2 penalty.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
On my melee attacks, so that's actually a 5. And I abysmally fail, and I will attempt an acid splash as well. not abysmally fail.
Ah, there you go. That actually hits and does 3 points of damage against the person. That's wonderful. That's beautiful.
Not person, vines.
Whatever they are. Whatever it is. And so that is going to be your turn. Thank you, sir. After that,
I was like, hang on, what?
after that is 1. Your turn. Having done a nice thing and gotten pulled down for some unknown reason.
All right. Well, am I still kind of teetering on the edge?
You are, because he was able to cut a bunch of vines free for you, making it so the DC is going to be lower for you to get yourself up, and you're welcome to try to do that first.
All right. So, what do you want me to roll for that reflex?
It's going to be a climb check or acrobatics.
I'm gonna do a climb.
There you go.
There we go.
All right. So you are able to climb yourself out of the area where it is. Make me a reflex saving throw to see if you're still entangled. Okay, let's hopefully the dice don't keep going down, and you're able to pull yourself free for the. Wait, hold on. You are still entangled with that reflex saving throw. So you still have the entangled condition on your character, and now it is your turn, sir. What would you like to do with your standard? And Swift, if you have it.
So I'm not falling off the edge anymore, though?
Correct. You're standing on the edge, but still have the vines around your thighs and knees, one grabbing at your belt.
Excuse me? Where is this going? We can't hit Valorant anymore, or we can hit... No, I'm not making those noises like
that. I'm going to, I guess, continue pulling the rope, but kind of step forward as I am.
My apologies. Continue pulling on the rope as you step forward.
Yeah, just step forward so I'm not, like, on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Strength check?
Absolutely, sir. Go right ahead.
Okay. There we go.
Oh no! Oh no!
You didn't eat your Weetabix this morning, did you?
You start trying to pull the rope as you're moving forward, as you're trying to get away from the edge and whatnot. Unfortunately, it is so snagged, so horribly snagged, that you yourself are not able to really progress. You can move 5 feet, but you're not able to progress because the rope is not going with you, and your intention was to take it along. You start tugging and pulling, pulling as hard as you can, and finally you whip around to look and see what happened, and the rope is actually slightly looped around a bit of the actual stone roof itself. So you were tugging against the building as opposed to Tesh. So that was that one. Valorant, it's your turn.
I'm gonna try and get up again.
Go right ahead.
So that's
That feeling when we're all failing, but I'm like failing the least right now is not a good one. I'm like, I did 3 damage in my entire turn of multiple attacks. Well, that's our greatest success so far.
Yep.
You're able to pull yourself standing, same as one did moments beforehand. Could you please roll for me your reflex saving throw?
Oh, there it is. That's actually not still not good, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
Unfortunately, you are still entangled, and you're still at the edge, just not dangling off of it. You're standing up. What do you do with your turn, sir?
So I can't, like, if when I'm entangled, I can't move?
You can at half speed.
Oh, then I would move as far as I can away from the edge.
15 feet and just barely pulls you out of the vines, so you're technically no longer entangled.
Ooh. Good. With that, I am going to cast a spell at it.
Beautiful. What spell would you like to cast, sir?
I'm mad, so I'm going to do one of these.
You hurl a snowball at it. It does a whopping 2 points of damage. It's beautiful.
But can it be staggered?
So the question is, can a plant take cold damage? Well, plants are actually pretty much all plants are resistant to cold, And so you hurl up this fireball and you throw it at the thing, and the snow just kind of like falls apart all over the thing and has no effect whatsoever.
Okay. There's at least staggered.
Plants are also immune to the staggered condition.
I am literally useless in this
I
fight.
believe the term is cuck.
And I am 100% useless in this fight.
And now it's the plant's turn. And the plant all of a sudden starts, you start to see, like, before it, its vines kind of like grabbing in the area and some whipping around and whatnot. You actually see that grab actually starts to sink into a bit of the rock better. Not actually cutting through the rock. It's not quite that strong. But into, like, the crevices between where the roof cracks are and whatnot, and where this bit of stone meets that bit of stone. Also anchoring itself around whoever's, the hips of whoever happens to be grappled. And starts pulling itself up towards the roof. You actually see the entire thing shift up half the distance towards the roof, which is 5 feet. And it shifts up towards the roof, which also extends its reach out another 5 feet from where it was beforehand, which coincidentally puts Valorant back within its reach. And so it starts grabbing at Valorant again with its vines and pulling at him. Sorry, buddy.
So...
Your AC right now, because shield, did you cast shield or no? Or did it fail?
I didn't. My shield failed, so I'm 16.
16 AC. So it just barely hits a 16 AC. Grabbing onto you and dealing to you 6 points of damage, which you have temporary health points, so it absorbs all of that. And as it grabs you, it starts like trying to grapple at you and trying to like lift you up off the ground to pull you closer. However, it is technically a grapple check. What is your CMD at the moment? You're not entangled, you're not grappled yet. So it's your CMD without those conditions on you, just the fatigue.
I see CMB with...
It should be immediately adjacent to it.
Oh, no, it's down to the left. It's 9.
Okay. Oh, really, a 9? Oof, that's low.
I'm fatigued.
It's also first level. So it does successfully grapple at you and it literally starts hoisting you up into the air. So all of a sudden you see him go, ah! As he's lifted off of his feet and picked up and over like another 5 feet closer towards this thing. So it's like between it's within the reach of the vines themselves, but not quite as close to the edge as you are one. It's kind of like still behind both one and Rayrin at the moment, but hoisted up in the air. So, Rayrin, it is your turn.
So that this creature, whatever it is lifting itself up.
It's kind of like pulling its mass up a little bit just to grab at him, and then we'll see how things go.
And I'm standing on the edge because I was just attempting to help one, so I'm on the lip of the thing. I'm currently in the entangle area. Do I need to make a reflex at the start of my turn?
You do, to see if you're still entangled.
Okay, let's make that first.
Or is it the start of your turn or end of your turn? Give me one moment just to confirm. Creatures that move into the area must make a save immediately. Creatures that make their saving throw remain in the area must make a save at the end of your turn.
Okay, so I'll make one for last turn.
Okay.
Oh wait, that doesn't make sense. Would you have to do it at the end and the start? So like you enter it and you pass, and then you have to make whatever. I passed it.
It triggers as soon as you re-enter an area, but then while you remain in the area, it's at the end of each of your turns.
Okay. So I need to make one at the end anyway.
Honestly, I'll just accept that one at the end. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How, like, there must be a main mass of this creature, yeah?
Most of it is down inside the pit below hand.
How far away is it?
About, because the fact that it's massive, it's about 5-10 feet from where you are. Let's call it 5 feet from where you are is where it begins and ends much further down from there.
Oh, it's only like 5 or 10 feet. Can I just land on it sword first?
You want to try to like jump and plunge at it?
Yeah.
Now, when you say mass of this creature, the creature is comprised of all vines.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? So even like its center area is not like it's got like a plant or something. It's just vines.
But cutting a few pieces of straw isn't the same as thrusting into the entire thing of straw.
100% you understand what you're saying. You're welcome to do what you'd like, sir. Technically speaking, jumping off to attack the thing, because you're not entangled, you can do that. Is attacking from above. You actually get a +1 chance to hit from attacking from above.
Nice. will you add that on for me in the water? This is going to be spell combat as well. So, it's it's a funny one. This -1. Okay, cool. I have a -2 to attack because of spell combat, but I also have a +1, so it's also a -1.
Hey! 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 Oh my god, that's amazing! That's amazing. It's actually, there's a little bit of a disappointment here, though.
Fuck.
Does anybody see what just happened there?
No, what?
Your regular damage was max, and your other damage
Yeah.
was
Oh
so.
yeah. Shh, shh.
Did this include any bonuses from your weapon being magical?
It did.
Okay, so that should be all that stuff right there. That's amusing. I'm sorry. Either way, 7 points of damage as you jump down and thrust your sword into the
Wait,
creature
it's
below.
not a crit,
It is a crit.
so it's not 7 and 7.
It's 7 or so like that. One on the left could have been a 3, and the one on the right could have been a 21.
Oh, so you take the highest
Whatever.
damage for a crit in this.
The way it works is for this. That's why we keep saying roll attack separate from damage as opposed to all at once with the other button. You know what I mean? So it's,
Yeah.
so when you roll damage, to the system, because unfortunately the poorly way that it was coded, it rolls as though you didn't crit and as though you did crit at the same time. And so the one on the left, you rolled a 1d6 plus 1 equals 7, and you rolled a 6. On the right hand side, you rolled 2d6 plus 1 times 2. You rolled a 1 and a 4 plus 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, ugh.
Yeah, fair. Okay,
Otherwise,
7
it's
damage.
funny. It could have been worse. What if you rolled min? What if you actually rolled
Yeah, I know.
4?
And it's spell combat, so Raren's gonna follow it up with what negative do I have to casting a ranged spell in melee?
None whatsoever. What kind of range spell is it?
A one that shouldn't be affected by this. Magic missile.
Oh, okay, cool. Then that doesn't matter. No, nothing.
Cool. I thought so. There we go.
Man, do I wish I grabbed that.
Force
3
damage is
force
sexy.
damage.
All right, so let me just see how much damage this thing has acquired so far. So it's 10 more points of damage. Jeez. All right. So you blast this thing with your energy of force. You jump down and slash at this thing with your sword. It's literally like as you're jumping with the sword down, like sword first, you start raising your hand last second, gathering up magics in it. And then like as you plunge the sword into this thing, the magic missile comes launching out of your hand down, spiraling down the blade and blasting into the creature as well. It's incredible damage that this thing takes. It is still why did I not change my music to combat music? It is incredible amounts of damage that this thing has taken, but it is still up, even if maybe just barely.
That is my turn, and I am on it.
Perfect. Awesome. After that is 1, sir. You are you can make it back to the edge, no problem. You get your buddy hanging up in the sky overhead. Your turn. What are you gonna do?
How high up is it?
About 5 feet off the ground. Nothing crazy. If you, let's say you chose to cut a vine and he just plopped, he would take no damage from that. It would just be graceless.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I just want to move over and then try and like attack the vines that are holding him in the air.
You have 2 options for doing this: a CMB to break the grapple, or a attack roll to cut the vine.
Attack roll.
Okay. Any effects or anything you want to do before you actually do this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if you had judgments for this scenario.
I do, but I don't know what else we're gonna face, and I only get 1 a day. So.
Gotcha.
Alright. Yeah, so I'm just gonna try and attack. Nope.
Ouch. Unfortunately, it's too low to even offer a... So you just start cutting at vines, and you are successfully cutting away at tips of vines and whatnot that are around you and hacking through them with your axe like a machete. And you start doing it. Unfortunately, every time you try, you think you're going to get close enough to cut the vine that's holding Valoran, the predominant one doing so. Other vines kind of tangle up and get in the way, or grab you by your wrist or elbow and hold back or remove the all the force of the blow, allowing you only to do like superficial cuts here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing
Am I
substantial.
still in the
Yep, and you have to
the
make
tangle
your
radius?
your check, unless you choose to move out.
Okay.
But if you move out, then you're going to be moving yourself away from where you can continue to help Valorant.
I will move out.
Okay, you move 15 feet. You're out of the radius. You are safe now, so you're not entangled anymore. Valorant, it is your turn, sir. You're up in the air, being grappled by this thing. A couple of vines holding on to you, one bit around your waist, a couple around other parts of you, sort of like whipping you around and starting trying to pull you back towards the pit. Not the pit, but the hole.
I want out. I want out.
What you gonna do, sir?
Real hard.
So a CMB is to oppose the grapple to try to get out, unless you can think of some other shenanigans along the way.
CMB's real bad right now.
Just channel me. Just roll a 20. Do it.
Oh.
Oh god. Fatigue and grappled.
Yeah.
So you start just trying to writhe and pull yourself free, but unfortunately your muscles just lack that strength from just all that flying for so long.
It's +2 because it's except those made to grapple or escape a grapple.
Oh, okay. That's
So
fair.
it's a 9.
So it is a 9. Do you want to use the plus? Thank you, Neil. Do you want to use that luck? Oh, don't forget the it's actually technically a 10. Don't forget you have a +1 to attack rolls given to you from 8 of the martyr.
Oh, okay. Then I think I definitely want to use the luck to just push it over so I can get out.
Go right ahead, sir. Do what you gotta do.
Because he's gonna eat me. 13. Is that enough? Or is it fucking 14?
He has to be alive to eat you.
So you start trying to.
I literally can't hurt it.
You start pulling and ripping and pulling yourself away from this thing as hard as you can. You actually pull yourself free from so many of its vines. And actually, at one point in time, it tries to, almost like it was trying to open up a walnut or something. It kind of slams you on the ground. And as it slams you on the ground, you start grabbing at anything you can, which are other bits of vines, but ones that were traveling in the other direction. You're able to hold your feet onto the ground for a couple more moments. You start trying to pull yourself away and get yourself to the edge of where it is. You can literally reach out to grab for one's hand. One reaches out to grab yours to help you. One, reflex save. And actually grabs.
Yeah.
You guys clasp hands. He's holding on to you. You're holding on to him. You're not technically free yet, but you're anchored here on the ground. Your legs are up in the air, the vine around like your ankles and your a big one around your waist, and he's got you by the arm, and he's outside of the range, starting to try to pull at you again.
Don't let go, don't let go, don't let go, don't let go.
All right. After your turn is going to be the vine's turn, who is going to start, sorry, sir. Let's go attack you. He has to attack you.
I have AC
One vine notices Varen's tushy as it escapes, locks on.
No.
You steer a squeak from Varen 1.
And he does successfully attack and hit you. What happens is, feeling the pain of what had just happened by its core, where its center is, feeling the creature jump and stab into it with all of its might and dropping the magic missile into it, all of a sudden a ton of its vines come whipping back inwards and start ripping and grappling at Rayrin. And do successfully grab him or hit him, smashing at him, dealing him the total of 6 points of damage as well. So 6 points of damage, and does a grapple attempt against you. Let me roll my grapple attempt.
What do I roll? What do I do?
You do nothing. It's my grapple against your CMD.
CMD's 14.
Yeah, you don't want to know what my modifier is.
Not enough. Not enough. Definitely not enough.
That could be either good or bad. That could be good or bad.
I have a +9. I rolled a 3.
Not enough.
I literally missed by 1. Are you sure it's a 13? Is that with all conditions and everything applied?
I
14,
don't
sorry?
have any conditions, and it's a 14.
Yeah, he's avoided the thing. Yeah.
So it does hit you for the 6 points of damage. However, it does not grapple you. It just barely, you're able to keep like, jumping to the side. The vines themselves that you're standing on that are supporting you are starting to wrap up around your legs, and you're still hacking at those enough that they're pulling back and pulling back, though it almost feels like you're sinking into them.
You have that scene with the sunset in the backdrop as he's just like cutting down.
It is going to make another CM B against you there, Tesh.
Do I get a bonus for being held onto?
What is your CMD, sir?
CMT 7.
And what's yours, Jake? Because you have no conditions at the moment.
15.
15. Okay.
It's a bit of a difference.
We're going to use his CMD as he's holding you and trying to pull you away because he's a strong guy. So give me 1 second. I'll make my attack roll.
Like a +9, so.
Hey, that means I just have a 75% chance of success. It maintains its grapple and starts trying to pull you free. And so you can feel the arms being pulled and pulled apart, and it's literally fingertips barely holding on as the thing is ripping you away. I unfortunately attacked Neil, so I couldn't hit you yet, but I'll finish one of you guys off next turn. Rayron, it's your turn.
Rayron is starting to sink into the creature, but it's desperate to get him off. That means he hurt it. He's gonna stab, plunge directly in again with the short sword. And I should stop rolling, but whatever.
That was beautiful.
Do you click the little plus on attack to roll? Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah.
You put right underneath. So there's the name of the weapon.
I just need to get in the habit of it.
Nope, you're fine.
Keep clicking the name.
You do successfully hit with that beautiful 18 right there. And
16 actually.
oh yeah, my apologies.
No, that one's correct. That one's correct. I've already added minus in the modifiers. That one's correct. It's an 18, yeah. Okay. Because it's a -1.
Oh, because you have a +1, -1. Gotcha. Thank you, sir. So, so with your 18, you do successfully hit the creature. You do your 7 points of damage, which is 6 points of damage, which is considerable. Does that include the +1 for being magical as well?
Yeah.
Cool. Which is considerable, and then do your spell.
This one I've not added, so it'll be a -2 on whatever I roll. Because adding in those, yeah, so I miss with that one.
It was surrounded by vines. Somehow.
You ever tried hitting something that's flying, like hitting a piece of rope? It's like trying to hit one of those wacky inflatable dudes with a water balloon.
Yeah, but when they're all around you and there's many of them, it's just blind fire.
It's very difficult to pick a target. It's like wolves trying to...
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
I think it's less about hitting a target and more about you just do a lot of superficial sizzling and burning, nothing that actually does real significant damage.
A little drop hits like 5 different ones because it spread it out.
Exactly. After that is going to be... so Rayron, you do successfully harm the thing. The thing is clearly messed up, but it's now one's turn.
Okay, so I've got hold of Aurorum with one of my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, axe in one hand and your finger to finger with him with the other.
Yeah. So I'm looking into his eyes, and I let go. And then I grab my axe, and then can I make? No, I can't. I won't be able to. I'm just having let him go and see him kind of be drawn back. I'm just going to swing two-handed with my battle axe at the vine that's holding onto him and trying to harm it.
Absolutely. It's one of those like looking straight him in the eyes and then let go. Now, once again, I do have to ask, anything that you're going to apply before you do your attack rolls, or are you just going to attack?
No, I'm just going to attack.
Thank you, sir. Oy vey. Let's see how this goes. Okay, not horribly. How do you feel about your 14? Do you want to modify that in any way with maybe a luck roll to try to finish this off?
What do we think?
We only have 3 luck left. On the other hand, we have 3 luck left.
HP? He's doing for HP.
One has 1 plus a couple temp. The other one has 2 plus a couple temp.
I don't have any temp.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to. Sorry.
I'm going to use the luck, I think.
Okay, you go right ahead.
Don't just roll a 1.
He fucking called it.
It's okay because its AC is exactly a 15. So
Yeah.
it is exactly what you needed. Make your attack roll, sir.
Okay.
And you do 10 points of damage. You let go of the hand, as you had said, looking him in the eyes. You can see like the moment of pain and betrayal in Valoran's eyes as he sees what you just did there. And then it's just like whipped backwards and upwards. So he's like, he's almost like a turtle on its back or a beetle on its back. So he can't even see beneath himself. You go taking the 2-step rush in with the axe in 2 hands. It's like a slow motion swing, hitting the vine at its base. And you just do a heavy chop that has the vine just kind of like immediately start to bend and twist, and having Valoran just get whipping around up there, him thinking, oh, that's it, it's the end. And then you come back and with perfect precision, chop exactly the same spot you had done beforehand, despite the vine whipping around, and completely sever the thing. He goes flopping downwards and into the pile of vines below. At first, the vines start to like writhe and crawl up around him, start to like pull at his face and whatnot. But then they slow down and they stop and land just kind of like still on top of his body, just as though he's covered in a bunch of plants. What you see, Rayron, sorry, what's your name? Jake. What you see is all of a sudden those vines, those same vines that are doing that, start to slide slowly off of the roof, and then faster and faster. The vines that are sliding off the roof, of course, are tangled up on poor Valoran and are dragging Valoran along with them as it's starting to fall. On the other side of things, Neil, Rayron was sitting there fighting this thing and did the splash of acid. And the splash of acid wasn't very successful, or so he thought. But then all of a sudden,
Must have leaked through to its core.
the thing starts writhing slower and slower and stops. And just as you're starting to like take in the moment and to appreciate the end of the danger, this thing stops moving. All of a sudden, you feel a bit of a lurch, and then you see the vines starting to slide off the top, and the whole thing starts to pivot, and you're like, "That's a 15-foot fall!" As the whole thing starts to tilt. So why don't we see how we resolve this situation after our first break? We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, everyone. So hold on to your seats and see how they pull themselves out of this one. Bye.